episode, as I always call it, the Young Black Female Achievers episode or series, yes, on Moenics TV. And we've had some interviews, and today we have another amazing guest, someone who does ministry work. She's a serial entrepreneur. Some of you who watch my channel, you must have met her once or twice, I think. Yeah, once. You're going to see her again because she's an achiever. One that I'm really proud of, one that I've known for about 3 years. Yes, 3 years. She's indeed amazing. And that is why I brought her back, because she has a lot to share with us. She has a lot of good things to share with us. The crux of this interview, like I said in the previous interviews, is for young women, young girls to learn to get the right influence, not from the world, but from the right set of people, from the right women who are indeed leaders. And that is why I brought my dear sister, my prayer partner, my friend, my pastor, Sister Rosemary Michael. And she's going to introduce herself I'm not going to take a shine like I always allow other guests to introduce themselves. She will introduce herself and she will tell you what she's doing. She will tell you a story, and I know you will learn a lot from her. Welcome with me, Sister Rosemary.
Thank you, Sister Moya. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much. Glad. Thank you for honoring this call a second time. Yeah. It's good to have you.
Same here, sis.
Great. So without wasting any time, please tell us about yourself. We really want to meet you. We want to know you. Who are you?
Hello, everyone. Okay. My name is Rosemary Michael. That's my name. And I'm married to Michael Rego Odi. I call him my king. There's a reason I call him that, actually. And maybe in the course of this interview, you'll get to know. I am into ministry. I am a prophet, but some people call me pastor, some call me evangelist. I answer to all. I answer to all. So I'm the team lead in the Kingdom Awakening Mission. That's the name of my ministry. And what we do there is we awaken the hearts of men to true spirituality, and then we also try to be that factor that connects men back to God. We connect back their hearts to God, because you would agree with me that in the world today, it takes a whole lot to stay with God and to stay connected with God. So the ministry is actually bringing close that gap in connecting men back to God. Also, I am the team lead also for Kingdom Friends Alliance. It was birthed. It will be a year in a few weeks, maybe in 2 weeks. It's going to be a year. It was birthed through the mother ministry, that is the Kingdom Awakening Mission. And what we do at KFA, that's the Kingdom Friends Alliance, is we teach, we train, and we equip, mentor women to walk in purpose. That's in divine purpose, the purpose to which God has called them to, or God put them on the earth to function. So that's what we do basically with Kingdom Friends Alliance. Again, I am an interior decorator, interior designer. I've been practicing for about 2 years, and God has been faithful. My very first job was an embassy.
Wow.
The house of the ambassador was what I worked on, and it came out so beautiful. I'm also a fashion designer. That I went into training last year, and while I was training, I already started, making clothes and all of that. I just feel these are some of the passion that I've had while growing up, and then somehow I'm just finding myself doing them right now. Also, just recently, about 2 weeks, we've delved into the food business. We've delved into food business, and then by God's grace, from the vision God has shown me for the food business. The name, by the way, is Broho. And it's going to be global by the vision God showed me about it. So we've delved into that one. I have two partners. So we come together and then we are making food and, catering for events and all of that. I think that's all about ministry and
Leadership.
business.
Thank you. There are
Yeah.
two other key things that you are yet to mention about who you are. I think because I know you to a certain extent, I know that you have omitted some key things. You didn't talk
Okay.
about being an author and also a filmmaker. So, so yes, you need to talk
Okay.
about those two.
Okay. So I am an author. I wrote a book 3 years ago. I wrote a book 3 years ago. It's called Who Are You? Who Are You? And basically what the book is about is it opens you up to the authority that you have over the enemy. It opens you up. You get to learn a whole lot of things, the things that you could do, to be ahead of the enemy. And then I'm also into short films. And the very first one we did was the story was gotten from the book that I wrote. So and if you see the movie is named Power. This is what the book is also about. It shows how powerful you are, how the authority that the Lord has given to you, you understand, and how you are supposed to operate and be ahead of the enemy. So the movie also shows that. So that is it.
So
we hope for more. We hope for more.
more will definitely come. So I just wanted to
Definitely.
buttress a little bit that Sister Rosemary is a prophet. She's the
Yes.
head of the Kingdom Awakening Mission, the head of the Kingdom Friends Alliance Mission. I would call it a mission as well. She's an interior designer. She's a fashion designer. Uh,
Yes.
she's into food business. She's an
Yes.
author and also a filmmaker. So
Yes.
the opportunities are limitless. They are bound, and we
That's
can
true.
always leverage on every of the things that God has placed in our hands. So there's no limit to who you can be as a person.
True.
I'm impressed. Well
True.
done, sis.
True. Thank
So this
you.
takes us to
Thank
the next question. I want
you.
you to
Right.
tell us about your background. And I asked this question because a lot of people say, oh, a lot of those who are doing well are from maybe the families of the high-ranking individuals in the society. Uh,
Mm.
children of politicians, children of ambassadors, children of pastors. Those are the really wealthy ones in our society, especially in Africa. So I
Yeah.
want you to tell us a little bit about your background and how it shaped you to become who you are today.
Okay. First off, I didn't come from any privileged maybe background or privileged family. But I want to bless God for putting me in such a family. I call it a generous, close-knit family. That's where I'm from. I'm the last of 8 children. Yes, the last of 8 children. My father is late. My mom is alive. Growing up, I grew up in Festac, but I was born in Surulere. So, but I didn't grow up there. I think I was about 2 years or 3 years when we moved from Surulere to Festac. And when at the time when you're saying you're from Festac, they would think, oh, an eyebrow area and all of that. Okay, let me now give you a scenario. We stayed in a one-room, one-parlor apartment, a block of flats. So even if you are saying you are from Festac, okay, come, let's go home. And then you will see that actually it is not anything highbrow. My father was, he was humble. He was very generous. And because, I don't know, maybe because I was the last, or maybe because I had challenge of speaking on time. I didn't speak on time. I started speaking like about 4 years, 4 or 5 years, So maybe that was why my father would allow me to what I would want to do while I was growing up. I remember my secondary school days, I would want to read. It's a room and parlor. So there are times I want to read at night. And then people are sleeping. I'm the eighth child. People are sleeping in the parlor. People are sleeping in the room. Where would I read? So I'll just put on the light and I'm reading. And my siblings will be shouting, "What is this? What is this? Is it only you? Are you the only one that wants to go to school? That wants to do this, that wants to do that," and all that. So my father would be like, "They should leave me alone. Don't talk to my child like that. Leave her alone. I have good plans for her. I'm sending her to Harvard. She's going to go to Harvard. She must go to Harvard. I will send her to Harvard."
Amen.
My head will be swelling. It'll be swelling, and I'll just be reading. I loved to read. I loved to read while growing up. So one thing I learned from my parents was generosity. No, no, no. They were generous to a fault. My dad used to work with Nigerian Ports Authority. And, because it's a port, there are times they'll bring in food items, they'll bring in fish, different things. And when my father brings them to the house, the first thing he's saying is, make sure you share to the neighbors. Like almost, it was a block of 32 flats. Almost everybody will get something. And then while growing up, I'll see that. And what we are getting is not so much. I'll be like, why are we not having so much? Why are you sharing when you don't have so much? But he didn't have that. He just had this generous heart anyway. And that kind of shaped me, that in anything that I'm doing, my first call is, what am I giving? It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be anything material. And this is why I am so passionate. Thank God, God called me into ministry. I am so passionate about, teaching, letting men, letting women know the truth. Like when I'm teaching, I'm so passionate about it. I want to give all I have. I want to give to them. So I guess that's where I learned that from, and it's been awesome. It's been awesome.
Great. That's great. And I'm so happy that despite the fact that you grew up in a one-room, one-parlor apartment, you are who you are today. God definitely, shaping and raising them. That is impressive. So today you earlier mentioned to us that you are so many things, you're into ministry, you're into business, you're a serial entrepreneur. So how did you get to your current position today? Stepping up from that sort of environment, where you come from, and being who you are today. What were the steps you took to become who you are today?
Okay. I would say first, education. Education is really key, because if I didn't have that, I would not know how to navigate through the waters of business, through the waters of even ministry itself. You understand? So I thank God that my father was able to at least pay my school fees through secondary school. And then it was while I was writing, was it NECO now? NECO. That was when he passed on. So that is dream of my daughter must go to Harvard. I would send my daughter to Harvard was, to me at the time, it was like a crashed dream. I just put it down, but thank God it didn't weigh me down. Thank God there are universities in Nigeria. So I just knew I'm one person who is passionate about education anyway. I just knew I was going to go to school, and thank God for my sisters who were able to, raise funds for me to go to school and all of that. Ministry, I didn't see myself in ministry. I didn't even know what ministry was. Because if you had asked me while I was finishing the university and going into my NYSC, if you had asked me ministry, I would have said how, because it's not even in my father's lineage. Funny enough, I'm the first. I'm the first doing ministry. Yes, in ministry. So if you had told me, I would be like, how, from where, So what I wanted was to, work in an organization, not even to do business anyway. not to do business, but to work in an establishment. I wake up in the morning, I dress up, I'm going to work, I'm closing in the evening. That had been that passion I had. And then, and of course, I had all of that. I worked with Cadbury Nigeria PLC. I also worked with L'Oreal International through Far East Mercantile Company. And after that, I just left the job. I didn't know I was going into ministry. I left the job thinking that maybe the next 3 months I would get another one. But as God will have it, next 3 months, no job. Next 6 months, no job. Next 1 year, no job. And then I was like, you know what? Instead of me just wasting my time, let me just go to school of ministry. Let me just go, while away time there. And that was where God caught me. So everything was orchestrated and pushed me into destiny. And I am glad that happened.
That is what we call divine orchestration. God planned you and you followed the path.
Yes.
Do you think if you hadn't followed that path, you would still be the success you are today?
No, I would not. No, I would not, because my success is determined by the one who made me. So the one who is the maker of men has got the blueprint for your life. The one who made you has got your templates. The one who made you has got what he called you for. So if he's got it, he also has charted a way of your success, has charted a way of your prosperity in that which he has called you. So if I was not doing this, of course, I'll be doing something else, but I would not have the kind of peace that I have today. I would not have the kind of success. Sis, there are women looking up to me. There are women calling me every day, asking, okay, what do I do? How do I do this? I need prayers. I need this one. Tell me, if I was still working with Cadbury, not knowing anything about prayer, about fasting, about the word of God, I would not have anything to give to them. Do you understand? So it gives me so much joy that I'm here. And that is the truth. I am successful because I am in the midst of what God has said I should be doing at this time of my life.
Amazing. There's one sentence you made that I wrote down and I want to read it out. You said, my success is determined by the one who made me. So that means we always have to be in alignment with what God has in store for us. And I think one of the ways to make this happen is by knowing what God has said about us and listening to the voice of God and working with that.
True.
So, congratulations, sis.
Thank you.
Okay, now to the crux of this interview. I call it the crux because here I want you to share your story. And when I say story, I mean 1 or 2 challenges you have faced, in the past. You've even talked about some already, growing up, living in a house, a 1-room, 1-parlor apartment, being the last child out of 8, losing your dad when you were in your final year in secondary school and all of that. Those are challenges. But I want you to talk about maybe there are other ones that could really have altered your life, in such a way that you wouldn't be the success that you are today. But regardless of those challenges, you are who you are today. So maybe 1 or 2 quick stories you can share with us and how you overcame those challenges.
Okay. So while I left my last job, it was a crazy time. Being in Nigeria, not having a job, you should understand this is.
I totally understand.
It was crazy. And this kind of person, I do not believe, and I don't do it, in begging. I don't believe in running to people, begging them for money, begging them for food, and all of that. That made it very challenging. It was a challenging time. This thing I'm talking about, these businesses that I'm into, I think interior is just 3 years that I started. So imagine from 2015 up until 3 years before now, there was no job. Do you understand? No job. I was in the house, no job, no money, no nothing. Nothing was coming in. I was just, I was just feeding on God. It was that bad. And at every point, because I live in Abuja, and my siblings, they're all in Lagos, and then some out in foreign lands. So at the time I was going through these challenges, I would be like, I'm the last born, for goodness sakes. Why am I here? Why am I suffering? Why not I just pack my things and just go back to Lagos? Let them be feeding me. Let them be feeding me. Is there what's the English now?
You are their responsibility.
Yes, it's their responsibility to take care of me. Like it's my right to be taken care of. I was having that in my head. But at every point, at every point I pack my things, the Holy Spirit will say, just remove them. You are going nowhere. You go nowhere. So I was left there, no food, no money. So at every point that I have a pressing need, the Holy Spirit will make available. If that need is not pressing, I'm not getting it. I would learn to, go through that time. I was telling a sister the other day, I said to her, you must learn to weather the storm. You must learn it. You must, if you don't learn it, what if other storms come? How will you now navigate through the storms? So at the time, the Holy Spirit was teaching me how to navigate through the storm. So I had to learn to depend on God and not on man.
Whoops.
Yes, I had to learn it. I learned it the hard way. I had to learn that. And this is why today you will not see me running to one person that and saying, oh, please, I need this. Oh, please. It's not in my DNA. The Lord didn't take me through that route. He taught me to depend on him. So whatever I have, whatever pressing need I have, I go to him. And then he would find a way to send me the things that I need. And of course, he will send through men. But he doesn't want us to focus on men, but to focus on him. Also, at that time, I think I was around 30, 31. And when I was saying no money, no food, and all of those,
yes,
there was also no boyfriend. So, and there was no family around. So it was difficult. And then the friends I had, while I had money, they were nowhere to be found, because at this time I had become broke. So I could not call on them to say, you know what, come, let's go hang out. Let's go to the club. Let's do this. Let's do that, because I would normally just, fund all of these outings. But at this point where I became broke now, no more friends, everybody had gone to face their lives and all of that. No friend, no family. So I was alone. I was alone. So I had to learn. When you have nothing, you just have to, the only person I had was God. So I didn't have other choices. I didn't have other options. So I just had to calm down and learn from the one who is available.
Yes.
Yes. And that time was when I was seeking the Lord's face for a husband. My mom would call and be like, no boy that is talking to you. No one is even saying anything. I said, nobody. Everybody should just leave me alone. Oh. I know what I'm facing here is not man, but within me, I knew, oh my God, I needed someone. Someone to talk to. Someone, that you could call and the person would just be petting you. There was nobody like that. So I had to just depend on God that, God, you will bring my own husband. And he did. In that hole, I would say, he brought my husband there to meet me. I didn't go out because I didn't even have money to go out. Like, okay, let me even go and hang out. I did not have it. So I was always at home. And it was in that house that my husband came, knocked on my door, and he came into my that was where, and if God had not given me this particular man, ministry would have been difficult. Doing these other things would have been difficult. He actually gave me the one that would accommodate all of these things. Imagine, say you are waking up in the middle of the night and you're leading people to pray. And sometimes, even if you are not leading people to pray, because I'm in ministry, I have to pray often. So most of the nights I'm praying. I will leave him on the bed. So initially he would complain, and then I'll go to God and say, please, oh, you are the one that gave me this one. If he stops me from doing your work, it's not my, and then little by little, he started molding him, and then he became who he is today. And we are just perfect.
Wow.
Like, we are just perfect. Most of the ministry work, by God's grace, I'll just tell him, King, this thing is coming up. Oh, he'll be like, how much is it? How much? Imagine. Imagine if it was not this man. I don't know how I would have, coped in ministry and doing every other thing that we're doing today.
Yeah. So I see where the dots connect here, because earlier we talked about, divine orchestration, how your life moved from where you started from to where you are today, and see who God gave you as your husband, is supporting your ministry, helping you, not complaining about what you're doing.
Very helpful.
Your work is good for me. So divine orchestration, that is all I can say. Divine orchestration.
Yes.
So, so the key thing you mentioned here is that regardless of the challenges, you depended on God, and you still depend on God on sorting everything out for you. So rather than go the other way, when all these challenges came, no money, no boyfriend, went back to your creator.
Yes. I chose God.
Who then, charted the path for you, and that is the path you're doing today. We give glory for that. So the other question I have for you today is, what is your advice to younger women who might need help navigating their lives and career path?
So I'm just going to say first that you can actually, as a woman, you can actually do business, you can actually do career, having God on your side or being with God. We've been sold a lie before now, that bringing God into your business or knowing God and doing career will not cause you to prosper or will not cause you to succeed. That is a big lie. That is a big lie. Every time, while God was taking me through that time, and I would just be begging him, just allow me to start a business. Allow me to go and to get a job, because everywhere I applied, it was just a shut door. You understand? And it would tell me it is not yet time. When it is time, I will push you into it. You understand? So me doing business today, following this ministry path, is because I know more of God today. And I'm succeeding the right way because I know God today. There is a success that is positive and there is a success that is negative. If you want a positive success, you cannot have it apart from God, the one who made you. I'm telling the women today, I'm telling you, the one who created you has got a chart for your life, has got a design for your life. It's just so wise for us to go back to him and say, okay, what is that course of my life, so that I can begin to tread in that path, rather than me going another way. I want to go the way the Lord has designed for me. So I'm telling the woman, seek your father. If you want to succeed in anything at all, if you want to succeed, go to your father. He will show you the ways of success. He will show you the ways of prosperity. God is not against our success. And this is one of the lies of the enemy. And this is why it would cause a person to go the negative route to get successful. God is not against our success. What he is against is getting success the other way. He wants you to prosper, but he wants you to prosper his own way, because that kind of prosperity is a prosperity that will last. Is a generational prosperity, not the prosperity you get, the success you get today, and then the next minute the success is just over. Do you understand? He wants us to make impact. God wants us to make impact. He wants our impact to be transgenerational, and it cannot be that if we are not getting it from, if we are not getting all those the wisdom for that impact from him. Another thing I'll say to women is, there is nothing you want to do that is positive that the Lord cannot help you to achieve. He has designed women in such a way that we can do many things at a time, at a go. So do not limit yourself saying that, okay, it is just this one. It is just this one. Whereas God is saying, yes, you are doing this one, but I also want you to do this. You understand? I'm in ministry. I have two ministries, the Kingdom Awakening Mission, Kingdom Friends Alliance. We started Kingdom Conversations. That's like a teaching, three women coming together. We are dissecting the kingdom and how it affects the world and the people in the world. And it's on YouTube. We are doing a whole lot of things. I'm an interior designer. I'm a fashion designer. Now we are into food. Woman, you can do a whole lot. A whole lot, but you can only do it by the one who made you.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's great. That's so much information in one for us all. And my note is full. My daughter is full. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So do you have any plans to mentor girls or young women in the future?
We are doing that already. We are doing that already with Kingdom Friends Alliance, and that we are mentoring young women. I think the ages is from around the 20s to 40, 45, the women we have now. And we are mentoring them on walking in purpose. We also have plans, to help mentor them in business as well. One of our meetings we had last year, we had a business meeting. It was a business career meeting we had. And the funny thing of that meeting was the Holy Spirit said, Rosemary, you're not teaching. Just go and sit down. Pick this one. Out of the women we've been mentoring, he said, those are the two that one will take career, the other one will take business. And I tell you, sis, it was explosive. Even there was a lady that came late to the meeting. She did not allow the one who took business. She didn't allow that one to go after we closed. She said, no, you cannot go anywhere. Please sit with me and teach me from beginning. Wow. Teach me from beginning, because she met a little part of it. She was like, no, I cannot miss this one. Teach me from beginning. So, and for them to still remain in the platform, I think they are getting impacted.
Yeah.
They're getting impacted. Yeah.
That is great. See, since you're doing a lot, and I know God will continue to strengthen you. It's the one you depend on for your strength, your help, everything, resources. It will continue to help you. And as you're changing lives, touching lives, your own life will also be improved, will be watered in the name of Jesus. Wow, this interview has been fantastic. My notes is full.
Wow.
Yes. I really don't want you to go, but we have to go because of time and because you have to go back to work and every other thing we're doing before now. So thank you so much for your time. And thank you for impacting the world as a young woman. Thank you for doing the right thing, because a lot of us are looking at you. We are looking at what you're doing and we are learning from you. Trust me, we are learning from you. So keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you so much.